NASCAR 25 now has a hype trailer. Denny Hamlin's pit crew penalty will go into effect next weekend, and which drivers are most likely to be eliminated in the round of 12. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, presented by Tableau TV midweek edition. It was 1 year ago that an engine seal violation hindered Denny Hamlin's championship run before it ever really got started. And just 3 races into this year's playoffs, the number 11 team is once again on the penalty report. Hopefully a less impactful penalty this time around. We'll talk about that and more in just a moment. But first, the NASCAR 25 video game is less than a month away from release. The PlayStation and Xbox versions will be released on October 14th. The PC version just got a release date November 11th. So only a few weeks later. I'll take it. Today, NASCAR and iRacing released what they're calling a hype trailer for the game, featuring glimpses of what appears to be some in-game action. Pause right here. I love this career mode hub that shows your custom ARCA car out front of the speed barn. I love it. I love that they're leaning into the grassrootsness of ARCA. It reminds me of this photo that my buddy Colby Evans shared a few weeks back. I don't know where the photo came from, but this is the most ARCA photo ever. The game here kind of capturing that vibe. Skimming through this trailer a bit more. 40-player multiplayer, online multiplayer, they say. Goodness gracious, I remember how chaotic some of those NASCAR heat lobbies could get with half a dozen drivers in them. 40? Whew, it's cool that we at least have the option of a large field size. Other than that, I mean, the colors look bright, vibrant, frame rate seems okay. I know that was a slight concern after one of the first clips they showed weeks ago. They say that full-on gameplay will be revealed tomorrow, Thursday of this week, so stay tuned for that. The anticipation is starting to build. I'm hopeful this will be a fun, functional game. I know recently news came out that Mexico City won't be a track option in the game, which kind of sucks, but also, I mean, Mexico City's not even on next year's schedule, so I also think it's kind of wild looking at the soundtrack that Hypnotized by System of a Down is the game's featured song. I went through a huge System phase in college, so that's kind of surreal. Pretty cool to see. Yeah, NASCAR 25 hype trailer. Are you feeling hyped? Did they successfully hype you up with that clip? I'm looking forward to gameplay this week. Moving on from the virtual world to the real world, Denny Hamlin, championship hopeful, all aboard the bandwagon, had a rough night at Bristol a few days ago. Car was never comfortable. Hamlin said on his podcast this week that he just never felt like he could push the tires at all. He finished 31st after an incident where his right front tire came off. Now, we all know the rule for a wheel falling off on the track is a 2-lap penalty in race. It also means a 2-race suspension for 2 pit crew members. NASCAR forced the team to serve the 2-lap penalty Saturday night. Chris Gale and team were trying to protest. Gale argued that it was contact with, I think, the 16 that jostled the wheel loose, that broke something. And even Denny Hamlin said post-race that he got into the wall the lap before and maybe thought something got bent. That's why the wheel came off. But NASCAR didn't buy those excuses Saturday night, and they didn't buy those excuses this week. The number 11 team was featured prominently in this week's penalty report. Sure enough, both the tire changer and jackman have been suspended for 2 races, NASCAR citing the improperly installed wheel rule. But now here's where things get kind of interesting. Because this is technically a technical violation, Joe Gibbs Racing has the right to defer the suspensions for 1 week, which is exactly what they're choosing to do. The round of 12, of course, starts this Sunday at New Hampshire, so rather than be without 2 key crew members for the New Hampshire and Kansas races, JGR instead will serve the penalty for the Kansas and Roval race, which makes total sense to me. Either way, the 11 team will be without 2 key pit crew members for Kansas, which stinks. Hamlin's finished top 5 in 6 of the last 8 races there, but It's better to have them for New Hampshire than the Charlotte Roval, I'd say. New Hampshire has been a really good track for Joe Gibbs Racing in recent years. You want to start the round of 12 strong. And let's be honest, Denny Hamlin has one career top 10 finish at the Charlotte Roval, and it's a road course. You're not going to make as many pit stops. Pit road at the Roval, not quite as important as pit road at New Hampshire, which could very well be a track position race where the pit road, getting in and out quick, is important. So Joe Gibbs Racing here taking advantage of a rule in the rulebook to defer those suspensions 1 week. They will be served at Kansas and the Roval. Hamlin and the 11 team will be at full strength this weekend at New Hampshire, again hoping to start the round of 12 off strong. Hamlin, add this to the list of distractions trying to derail Denny's playoff run. Hamlin addressed this possible penalty on his podcast this week, said, quote, "My concern needs to be on the things that I can control. Are the new pit crew guys young? Are they old? Are they good? Are they bad? You're just wasting mind energy at that point." Ooh, mind energy. Denny Hamlin will look to defend his championship points lead as the points reset for the round of 12, reset back to how many playoff points you've earned. Hamlin has a 26-point advantage over the cut line. I think Denny will overcome any potential pit road problems this round. We did see pit road plague Alex Bowman in the round of 16, but Hamlin has a big enough cushion. These first two tracks, I think, are right in his wheelhouse. I think Denny Hamlin will move on, but I wanted to take a look at the playoff bubble. I made my round-by-round predictions a few weeks ago before the playoffs started. My original round of 8 picks are all still alive. The only prediction I got wrong in that first round was I had Chastain out, Alex Bowman in. So besides that mistake, I'm feeling pretty good. Originally, I had Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, and Bowman, I guess now Ross Chastain, getting eliminated this round. But now that we've seen how some of these teams perform under playoff pressure, I'm going to make some slight amendments. I still think Austin Cindric gets eliminated. I'm sorry, he was really good at Bristol. I praised him for his performance under pressure Saturday night, entered that race just above the cut line, qualified great, ran great. Shame the car caught fire, but I was impressed with Cindric. I think this is the end of the road. Look at these upcoming races. He's never finished top 10 at New Hampshire. He's never finished top 10 at Kansas. He'll likely have to make up points at the Charlotte Roval, which is possible. He's a great road course racer, but y'all know I care about stage points. Austin Cindric earned only the 11th most stage points of the playoff guys in that opening round. At Gateway, which we thought would be a good Penske track, which is somewhat similar to New Hampshire, Cindric was a no-show a few weeks ago. I liked what I saw at Bristol the other night, but I don't see Austin Cindric getting through this round. I don't see Ross Chastain making it through either. Now, remember, I had Chastain out in the round of 16. I actually like some of these tracks for Ross a little better. He won the Fall Kansas race a year ago. He won at Charlotte, a similar mile and a half this year. He did the tire test at New Hampshire a few weeks back, so he should have an advantage this weekend, but here's the thing about Ross Chastain. Of all the remaining playoff guys, he has earned the fewest stage points all year, and it's not that close. And if we look at the last 14 Cup Series races, 14 races, Chastain's best finish is 10th. He's done it twice. 2 10th place finishes, that's it. They don't make many catastrophic mistakes, but that's only good enough to get you through the round of 16. He's at a slight points deficit entering the round of 12. It's not about survival. It's you got to go get it. You got to go get points, get good finishes. And Chastain hasn't done that in 3 months now. So I like him at New Hampshire this weekend. Maybe make some noise, but I don't see that speed lasting through an entire round. I have Chastain still out. Again, originally I also had Wallace and Logano out this round, but they have given me a lot to consider. Bubba Wallace earned the most stage points of any playoff driver in the round of 16, finished 6th, finished 8th, and got caught up in a wreck at Bristol. I compare him to his teammate Tyler Reddick, who, yes, ran 2nd at Darlington, was really fast, but the rest of the round, the rest of this season, frankly, it's been more of an up and down roller coaster. Over the last 9 races, Reddick's average finish is 17.4. Bubba Wallace's, meanwhile, is more than 2 full positions better in that same span. So if I'm picking one 2311 car to get through the round of 12, I think Bubba Wallace, team led by Charles Denny, has the momentum right now. I think they're a toss-up at New Hampshire. They've both won Kansas before, but struggled the past couple of years. And then there's the Roval. On paper, should be advantage Tyler Reddick. He is a better road course racer than Bubba Wallace. He's also a few points behind Bubba Wallace here. And if Bubba out-earns Reddick in the stages the next couple weeks like he's been doing, I don't know. I'd give Bubba Wallace the advantage. I think Bubba Wallace has a better shot of getting through this round than Tyler Reddick. I didn't think that 4 weeks ago, but after what I've seen, I believe it now. Reddick could still get in though. Then it comes down to Reddick versus Logano versus, yes, I think Chase Elliott. Throw Chase Elliott into this group here because, again, we keep talking about stage points. Chase Elliott earned only 4 stage points the entire first round. 14th best of the playoff drivers. Elliott's been great at the Roval historically, but he still does not have a road course win in the next-gen era. Intermediate tracks like Kansas have been hit or miss. I think there's a lot of pressure riding on New Hampshire. It's the same tire that was used at Martinsville in the spring, North Wilkesboro. We saw Richmond a few weeks back. Chase Elliott ran 3rd at Gateway a couple weeks ago, which is a similar kind of track to New Hampshire. It's not the same tire though, so pressure is on Elliott to perform this weekend, pad that points lead a bit more, then I'd feel a little better, especially if he has an advantage going into the Charlotte Roval. But Joey Logano, the defending champion, looms. Originally, I had Joey Logano out this round, but I'm starting to come around on Logano being at least a round of 8 contender. I'm not ready to say he's a serious championship 4 threat, but you look at these upcoming races. Joey Logano did the tire test at New Hampshire. Flat track. Okay. He's coming off back-to-back top 5 finishes. Pretty good momentum. Kansas is a big question mark. The Roval, he's got pretty good numbers there. It comes down to, do we trust Joey Logano's veteran championship experience, Paul Wolf's championship veteran experience, or do we trust Hendrick Motorsports and Chase Elliott's solid, consistent performance this year? Do we trust the firepower we've seen from Toyota the past few weeks? Will Tyler Reddick sneak into the round of 8? That's what I'm battling here. Honestly, the stats tell me that Tyler Reddick should advance of those 3. The eye test tells me Chase Elliott has been solid, consistent enough. He's got the Roval. There's a safety net. My eye test says Elliott should get through, but something in my gut says Joey Logano and that 22 team are starting to figure it out. If Logano can vault ahead of the cut line after New Hampshire, again, he did the tire test, same tire as North Wilkesboro. He almost won the All-Star race. Remember that if Logano can be 5, 10, 15 points above the cut line after New Hampshire, nobody plays defense better than Joey Logano. I would start to feel pretty good. But if they have an issue at New Hampshire, a bad pit stop, a wreck, you name it. It's ironic. Last year at New Hampshire, I think Logano locked up the left front and actually took Chase Elliott with him. So Logano and Elliott crashed together in this race 1 year ago. If that happens, oh boy, Tyler Reddick's living the dream. Man, oh man. Originally, I had Elliott and Reddick advancing. This might be a long shot, but I think there's a good chance 2311 gets both their cars through this round. Honestly, think about it. New Hampshire, same tire as Richmond. Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick led a ton of laps in that race before wacky stuff took them out. Then we go to Kansas, where they both won before. I know the last year or so they've been a little iffy, but I trust them to figure it out. Toyota's been so good lately across the board. And then the Roval. Tyler Reddick is maybe the best road course racer still left in these playoffs. I think Tyler Reddick's going to do it. I think we will see 5 Toyotas in the round of 8, couple of Hendrick cars, and of course Ryan Blaney holding down the fort for Ford. That's my prediction. So essentially the only thing I'm changing is Chase Elliott I'm taking out and I'm putting Bubba Wallace in. Hendrick Motorsports just doesn't quite seem like themselves right now. William Byron has gone a month without a top 10. Kyle Larson, it's something different every single week. Alex Bowman just got eliminated, and Chase Elliott, I mean, they've been good, but kind of like what I said about Ross Chastain, survival likely isn't enough to get through the round of 12. That works in the round of 16, but round of 12, the pressure ratchets up a bit. So that's my one modification. Elliott out, Wallace in. I think Toyota is fired off fast to begin these playoffs. Like even Legacy Motor Club looks like the best version of themselves. It's across the board over at Team Toyota. That's my one modification, my amendment to my pre-playoff predictions. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree. Chase Elliott fans, let me know in the comments, scale of 1 to 9, how confident are you in your team's ability to get through this round? 9 being, yeah, we got this. 1 being, nah, I'm not feeling it. Fire Alan Gustafson or whatever it is y'all like to say. Let me know, Chase Elliott fans, if I'm selling your guys short. I'd like to hear it. That's all for today's episode, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NASCAR content and conversation every single day. Really appreciate your continued support. Helps keep this show growing. If you missed it earlier today, Sour Power Hour, my podcast with Brennan Poole, went live, talked for nearly an hour about Bristol, about the Xfinity Series playoff picture, the Cup Series playoff picture. We answered some fan questions and so much more. You can find the video version here on my YouTube channel. You can also listen to Sour Power Hour, powered by Toxic Waste Candy, anywhere you get your podcast. So be sure to give it a listen. I appreciate you all, and I will see you again in the next video.